We are going to discuss, good morning, everyone, good afternoon, and good evening. We're going to discuss carbohydrates today. Uh, I've been having some silly comments taught to me or spoken to me, and I just wanted to clarify it. People think carbs are bad. People think you gain weight eating carbs. People say I've gone on diets and I've eaten carbs and I've gained weight. So we're going to discuss this really real quick and easy today. Carbohydrates are what our body is supposed to be sourced with. It is the quickest form for us to get energy, sucrose, fructose, so the concentrated sugars. Our body wants to absorb those first, right? And then it wants to take regular carbohydrates in the form of beans, rice, potato, corn, millet, quinoa. It wants to use those starches and turn them into sugars and use them as a fuel. And after that, it will go down to the fat and use that as a fuel. It's going to break down the amino acids so you can get to it'll break it down into the individual amino acids your body needs. Okay, so why do people gain weight when they're eating carbohydrates? Well, carbohydrates, as your body has to turn a complex carb into a simple carb, and then with the excess, it has to turn it into fat to store it. It'll use up 70% of the energy within that vehicle, turning it into a fat cell. If your body wants to take fat and store it into your body, it has to use almost no energy. It just takes it and stores it. Okay. The body will always try to eat the simple sugars and then the complex sugars first. If you're adding carbs to your diet, but you're not taking out fat, your body's going to use the sugar that's available in your bloodstream. It's going to take the complex carbs, break it down to the simple sugars and use that. And with the excess, the fats, it's going to store them. And so you're going to gain weight. It's not taking the carb and turning it into fat, and then you're gaining weight. If you have fat in your diet and you have an excessive amount of calories, your body's going to use the sugars and carbohydrates first and store the fat. It's just that simple. People like sweet potato, corn, grain, millet, rice, they're not good for you. This is what the message they've been told. That's not true. Okay, a sweet potato has about 120 calories per cup. If you were to take a cup of ground beef, let's say 70% animal protein, 30% fat, which is, pretty common, 1,500 calories. 120 calories, 1,500 calories, right? And one of those calories is going to be easily stored, right? So eat your potatoes, eat your sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes have a large amount of nutrient value to them. It's like the essential vitamins are there. You're going to get 120 calories, total carbs, only 27 carbs, but we don't count carbs on this diet, right? Because we want carbohydrates. That's what we're feeding our body off of. You get vitamin C, you have iron, you have vitamin B6, magnesium, calcium. Yeah. So that's what you're getting when you eat carbohydrates and potatoes and sweet potatoes and corn. Corn's a little higher in fiber. Your body doesn't break it down the insides. So what? Who cares? Fiber is great for you. It's great for your intestinal motion. Sweet potatoes have fiber in them, which helps your digestive system. They don't make you fat. Adding the sour cream or the avocado or frying them in oil, your body's going to use that carbohydrate until it uses up what it wants, and then it's going to store the fat. So you're going to gain the weight. Okay? I'm eating no fat. And my body got rid of the fat that it was storing as it needed it. This is a sweet potato. I don't know if you can see it. 2-cup sweet potato. It's huge. Remember, I'm 6'2". It's got a cup and a half of beans on it. This is 800 calories. That's 200 calories in 200 calories in a potato, and I'm giving it a generous calorie component of about 600 with just black beans. And the black beans have garlic and cumin and onion and salt, pepper. I'm not going to restrict the carbs I eat, and my body's going to use that as fuel, and I'm going to continue to be healthy. People are going to give you a misnomer or not people, some people will, that carbohydrates are bad for you. Carbohydrates are not bad for you. Simple sugars, the fructose, the sucrose, the concentrated sugars, your body's always going to want to absorb them first. Could you survive off of that? You probably could. It's not going to have any vitamins, nutrients, or fibers. limited amounts of amino acids, if any. But you can eat potatoes, rice, bean, sweet potatoes, corn, grains, quinoa, and your body's going to thrive, not just survive, thrive off of them. Okay, without gaining weight. Actually, you'll probably end up losing weight. If that's all you're eating and throwing in a few salads and a couple pieces of fruit, which are also a fructose-based product, you know, with the fruit, you're going to lose weight. If you have, you know, if a big person, you know, 300 pounds is going to require 2,800 calories a day to eat. It's hard to eat that when you're eating starches. It's easy to eat that if you're eating starches and fat and sugars, simple sugars. You know, if you're putting on a dollop of sour cream or pats of butter, or you've rubbed them with oils and put them in the oven, and that's fat is going to be stored. Your body's going to use up those carbs first and then store that fat. If you keep off the butter, the sour cream, and the avocado, and put on something that hasn't been created with fat, like beans, or, and this is delicious, just for the record, you know, I would call this a pub meal. I went to England and I was surprised that in the pubs, they have their, you know, potato-based culture. They love them. They take these and they put beans on them, or you can get other protein variants put on top inside the pub for lunch. You know, that's what people eat over there. They eat in their pubs. Culturally, that's just what they do. So you can get healthy meals over there that simple, cost a few dollars to make, and you can have them over here. I would order this in any restaurant. I would. Come with a little bit of side salad, maybe, or I don't even know if I'd want to have side salad. This is exactly what I've eaten in England, and it's absolutely delicious. Maybe have a little gravy on the side, but I have my own broth gravy here. Yeah, carbohydrates, easy. Eat them. Eat them. Make that your primary source of calories and nutrients. Primary source. You want to have those carbohydrates. Okay? That's it. You're going to fuel your body off of that. You're going to take the fats and oils out. Your body knows how to make fat and oil. That's what the liver does. That's what it does. If it needs it, it produces it. There's nothing that says that we have to eat it. Our body knows how to make it. If a healthy functioning body is absolutely going to be able to do that and generate that based off the carbs or starches that you're eating. We are starchivores. The humans are starchivores. That's what we're designed to eat. That's what our brain wants to function off of. So eat the starches, eat the potatoes, eat the corn, grain, millet, eat some fruit, have a few pieces of salad, some greens, you know, eat your veggies, come up with interesting, delicious meals. Make this once a day, once a week, twice a week. I can eat this every day, pretty much, and be satiated, full, healthy, and lean, you know? So just keep that in mind. Don't believe the rhetoric that you might hear that these are bad for you. You know, you're going to be lean eating these, you know, that's the truth. You look at people who basically eat a primary potato-based diet, and, you know, South America, the natives there are lean. You know, corn, the natives in America, we called it maize. We're lean. You know, corn is just an overdeveloped grain. You know, they literally have shown in the past few hundred years how it went from grains the size of wheat, and they just grew them larger and larger and larger until they had little pieces of corn, and then they grew it to what we have now. Corn used to be like this big only less than 100 years ago, and now it's like this big. Yes, it's a carbohydrate. Yes, they have selectively bred it to have more carbs. Who cares? You want the carbs. They used to have to eat a lot more of it. You get the same result. Now you can eat, you know, 1 or 2 on the cob, 1 or 2 pieces, and be satiated instead of having to have 40 or 50 different pieces to get the same volume, so you have the same energy content. It's okay. It's okay. Eat those carbs. You know, be healthy. Remember, live a good life. Have a healthy diet. Don't drink, smoke, vape. But I don't have to tell you guys that. You know it's unhealthy for you. You know, drink water. Hydrate your body. You know, but eat those carbs. Eat those carbs. You know, it's a healthy lifestyle. And you're going to feel great doing it. Why? Because your body wants to eat them. It wants to consume them. And if you take the fats out and the extra sugars out, you are not going to gain weight from them. I mean, theoretically, could you create a diet to do it? Yes, I could eat 1,500 calories of potato. This is 240 calories of sweet potato here. So if I eat 7 of these, which I don't think I physically can do, is the same as eating 1 cup of ground beef. You know, so literally it'd be almost impossible for me to get that type of calorie content to gain weight. I'm just saying, but you can easily put a pound of chili, a meat-based chili on this. 1 cup of meat-based chili, 1,500 extra calories instead of the beans. You could. And then you're eating a meal and you're like, oh, look, I put a potato in there and I didn't tell you about the meat on it and with the fats, and I gained weight. So if I just took that potato out, there's extra 200 calories, but I kept the 1,500 calories of easily absorbed fats. It's a misconception. Eat the potatoes. Take the fat out. All right? Just know we're out here for you. Ask questions. Have a good day.